Yeah, I can't stop. Absolutely crushing it. Shout out to the One Piece fans. Thanks for accepting me with open arms into your community.
Obviously, he's ever watched One Piece. I think self-admitted he hasn't. But what's the whole game plan here? To create a market for graded manga that he now owns.
I don't disagree with everything that he does, but anything that's like money involved, these are things he does, I disagree with it. They're all like really like, just in my opinion, kind of like venture.
Logan Paul might have just walked into the wrong fandom, because when IShowSpeed jumped on Twitter and called him one of the biggest scammers in the entire creator space, the internet didn't just react. It detonated. Within minutes, that single post had hundreds of thousands of likes. Every anime account on the planet was piling on, and a debate that had been quietly bubbling for weeks suddenly turned into one of the loudest takedowns of the year. And the wild part? The longer this thing keeps going, the worse it looks for Logan. This whole mess kicked off because Logan Paul started doing what Logan Paul always does, walking into a niche community with absurd amounts of money, buying the rarest items in the entire space and flashing them in front of millions of followers like he just discovered a brand new hobby. Except this time, the community he picked was anime. And anime fans, for anyone who hasn't been paying attention, are not the audience you want pushing back on you. He started flexing ultra-rare manga chapters online. Not just expensive, insanely expensive.
Spent a lot of money on that no one knows about until this moment is manga. Japanese comics, the birthplace of some of the biggest IP and the biggest franchises in the world. And I'm an anime fan, a casual anime fan. I know people go crazy, but I love my One Piece, I love my Demon Slayer, my One Punch Man, and Dragon Ball, obviously, and maybe some of you saw on my Instagram. I actually have the most expensive manga.
We're talking ultra-rare grades, professionally certified by PSA. The same kind of flashy collector content he used to drop during the peak of the Pokemon card era. Six-figure manga sitting in his hands while he posts captions designed to send anime Twitter into overdrive. And a huge chunk of the internet looked at all of it and immediately said the same thing. This isn't a fan. This is a strategy. Because here's the thing people have started catching on to. Every time Logan Paul steps into a collector market, the prices in that market start moving. Fast. He grabs the rarest stuff he can find, shows it off to a massive audience, generates wall-to-wall hype around it, and suddenly every comparable piece in the same category starts climbing in value. Fans recognize the pattern because we've literally seen it before. Buy the rarest items, create insane online attention, get everyone talking, then sit back while the prices explode in the background. By the time you cash out, the community has done all the work for you. That's why so many people aren't buying the genuine fan story. To them, this looks less like somebody enjoying a hobby and a whole lot more like somebody running a long game investment play in front of a camera. When the whole thing first started blowing up, Logan tweeted about owning what he called the greatest manga in the world.
9.2, highest grade in the world, Pop 1. And I actually don't have it. It's in the vault right now, but just to give you guys an idea of like the type of money these things are going for, me and Jeremy Padawer went $550,000 for this book. This one is also equally special. A One Piece graded 9.0, second highest in the entire world. It took Superman 90 years to sell 600 million copies. One Piece did it, like this series, this manga, in just 30 years. But someone on my team does love One Piece. I'm going to show it to him. I'm not going to gift it to him, but I do want him to see, you know, the first chapter of One Piece, like literally where the entire franchise started. Maybe kickstart his manga journey.
One Piece. Chapter 1, a 9.0 grade, the second highest in existence, with only 3 copies that exist in that condition. The first canon appearance of Monkey D. Luffy. That post sent anime Twitter straight into meltdown mode, because One Piece isn't just any series. It's one of the most legendary manga ever made, with over 600 million copies sold worldwide. There's a reason fans get protective. But Logan didn't stop there, because the next thing he revealed was that he had also bought Dragon Ball Chapter 1 with a 9.2 grade, reportedly the highest known grade in existence, with only 1 copy at that level on the entire planet. Fans completely lost it when reports came out that he had paid around $550,000 for it. That chapter is historic. It's the first appearance of Goku, the first appearance of Bulma, two characters that basically built modern anime culture as we know it. Seeing something that culturally important sitting inside Logan Paul's collection made people stop and really start looking at this whole situation differently. And honestly, the purchases themselves weren't even the biggest issue. The real spark was the way he was talking about all of it. Fans started pointing out that the captions sounded almost robotic.
I want to show you something I think you're going to like. Chapter 1 of One Piece, the first canon appearance of Monkey D. Luffy.
Wait, this is the first manga?
Yes.
Volume 1?
Yes, volume 1. Second highest graded in the world, 9.0. One Piece, we all know, we all love it. I know you love it. It started here. This is volume 1, so they would take it from the magazine and then make the first ever, like, actually dedicated One Piece book.
Oh.
It's probably $300,000 to $400,000 book.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
As a One Piece fan, this is crazy. This show actually saved my life.
So what do you mean One Piece saved your life?
It saved my life.
What do you mean by that?
You remember back in quarantine?
Yeah.
I was depressed before, like, watching it.
No
But then when I
way.
started watching it, it started to get, like, motivation.
Holy.
Like somebody had quickly fed a Wikipedia summary into an AI tool, asked for facts about anime, and then just posted whatever came out. The wording felt off. The energy felt off. Nothing about it sounded like a person who actually grew up with these series. And once that idea got out there, the criticism spread everywhere. Suddenly, the question wasn't whether Logan likes anime. The question was whether he even knows what he's holding. Then, IShowSpeed cut through the entire conversation with one tweet. "You don't even know stuff about One Piece?" That post exploded across social media instantly. Hundreds of thousands of likes. Quote tweets everywhere. Because Speed had just said out loud what every single anime fan had already been whispering in private for weeks. But instead of pulling back from the heat, Logan did the exact opposite. He kept charging forward. More videos, more tweets, more photos, acting like nothing was wrong while the backlash got louder by the hour. For a lot of anime fans, the issue isn't even Logan owning the manga at this point. It's the entire vibe behind it. The second a conversation about a series like One Piece becomes all about price tags and future investment value, something fundamental gets lost. These are communities built on nostalgia, on characters people have grown up with, on stories that meant something to fans during specific moments in their lives. When somebody walks in and turns all of that into luxury flex content, it doesn't land as appreciation, it lands as conversion, like a sacred space getting turned into a showroom. And once that perception sets in, you can't unset it. Buy the rarest item possible, wave it in front of millions, generate massive attention around it.
On a plane ride to read One Piece manga. But I gotta say, dude, I'm starting to doubt that the One Piece even exists. There, I said it. Is the One Piece even real? Where the fuck is that thing, dude? Maybe it's here at my brother's 5,500 acre ranch. Nah, bro, it's for real. The One Piece love and outpouring of support has been so real. And so I just decided to keep doubling down, bro. I bought 2 more copies raw, Weekly Shonen Jump, One Piece Chapter 1. I got a One Piece script, like for the anime show where Luffy gets his first wanted poster. And Volume 1, One Piece, 9.6, graded 9.6, second highest in the world. It's my cousin Alex. Yeah, I can't stop. Absolutely crushing it. Shout out to the One Piece fans. Thanks for accepting me with open arms into...
Wait for the prices to climb. Cash out when the hype peaks. That's the playbook people are reading from this, and it's the same exact playbook critics accused Logan of running during the Pokemon card era. Which is also a huge part of why anime fans respect IShowSpeed so much in moments like this. With Speed, it doesn't feel forced. It feels real. People keep pointing out that he has openly supported One Piece for years. Long before rare manga chapters became a flex on Twitter. Back when his channel was still climbing, he already had a Monkey D. Luffy profile picture. He still uses it now. That kind of consistency matters in these communities. It's the difference between somebody who's been there the whole time and somebody who showed up the day the price chart got interesting. Speed didn't buy his way into the fandom. He earned it the exact same way every other fan did, by caring before it was profitable to care. Speed also gets credit for actively pulling huge audiences into anime through his streams and reactions. A lot of viewers got into the genre directly, because of clips of him losing his mind over plot moments. That's organic. That's somebody whose excitement was contagious because it was real.
He's ever watched One Piece. I think self-admitted he hasn't. But what's the whole game plan here? To create a market for graded manga that he now owns, probably two of the most premier like IP rarity mangas of. So like the same exact playbook that he did with Pokemon.
I've been overly critical of Logan Paul, but I think it's reasonable. Like, I interact with him, whatever. Like, I don't disagree with everything that he does, but anything that's like money involved, these that he does, I disagree with it. They're all like really like, just in my opinion, kind of like ventures where people lose stuff and he gets, and it's not like some exchange or like, oh, here's like some cool merch. Like, it's just like something that he's like, it's taking from.
Meanwhile, the internet kept clowning Logan because he was visibly stumbling on basic anime knowledge in interviews and streams. There were even moments where he pronounced Monkey D. Luffy's name wrong, and clips of those moments went viral within hours. Once those started circulating, the criticism just kept stacking. And then, instead of slowing down, Logan went the other way entirely. He fully leaned into rage bait mode. Every tweet from that point on felt like it was engineered specifically to provoke anime fans. Designed to keep the controversy spinning. Designed to keep his name trending no matter what the cost. At one point, he dressed up in a full Monkey D. Luffy costume and tweeted that after reading the manga, he wasn't convinced the One Piece was even real. That single tweet sent the entire fandom into a meltdown. Fans piled on within seconds, calling it nonsense, calling it trolling, calling it the most obvious bait farming attempt anyone had seen all year. The backlash got so massive that even community notes had to step in and publicly correct him. And the correction was brutal. The note pointed out that Logan was holding Weekly Shonen Jump issue 34, open to a random middle page filled with ads and unrelated content. One Piece. Chapter 1 actually appears near the front of the magazine, right after the table of contents. Anyone who has ever opened a single issue knows that. He was caught flexing manga he wasn't even reading, by a fact-check bot, on his own post. That detail completely cooked him across social media, because it confirmed exactly what critics had been saying. The whole thing was performance. A guy holding a manga he doesn't actually read, posing for the camera, hoping nobody looked too closely.
You see some people saying things like, oh, he's LARPing. You're a LARPer. Yo, it's just eat some devil fruit shit, bro. I had to sail the Grand Line real quick. Yeah. Turns out my outfit was back at the beginning of the Grand Line. Yeah. Hey, Monkey D.
People said it out loud. He's trying too hard to look like a hardcore manga fan without understanding the most basic things about the manga he's flexing. And even though plenty of people got pulled into the chaos and gave the post attention anyway, a lot of fans saw straight through the strategy. Create outrage. Dominate the conversation. Pull millions of eyes toward ultra-rare collectibles. Watch the values inflate from sheer exposure. Cash out at peak hype later. Critics also keep pointing out something that hits even deeper. There doesn't seem to be any actual emotional connection in any of this. The only thing fans see being celebrated is the size of the price tag. Outside of that, there's barely any genuine appreciation for the storytelling, the history, or the cultural weight behind these series. And anime communities are passionate. They were always going to react hard. One Piece fans in particular care deeply about the emotional meaning of the story, the journey, the years of build-up. So the second somebody walks in and leads with money instead of meaning, every move and every motive gets put under a microscope. That's where the conversation is right now, and it's not even really about manga anymore. It's about the bigger pattern, the thing critics have been pointing at for years. Logan walks into a community, creates controversy, takes over the attention cycle, and then quietly benefits from all the visibility on the way out. Some people are comparing the strategy to creators who lean into outrage on purpose because outrage keeps everyone watching, and watching is the entire game. Whether people love him or hate him, They keep talking about him. And in 2026, attention itself is the asset. That's why a lot of people are convinced this backlash isn't even hurting him. Some are starting to think the outrage was the entire plan from the start. The deeper question that keeps coming up is just authenticity. Is any of this real, or is it another calculated move designed to print money quietly while everyone is busy arguing about it? Anime communities care about emotional attachment, about memories, about respect for the story. Rare collectibles matter, sure, but passion matters way more to people who have been in the trenches for years. So when somebody shows up clearly more focused on the price tag than the meaning, the whole community tightens up around itself instantly. And because social media moves at the speed it does now, every tweet, every purchase, every reaction gets amplified to millions of people in real time. A small moment turns into a massive debate within a single hour. Fans are now analyzing every caption, every interview, every detail, trying to figure out what's genuine and what's another publicity move. People are watching closer than they ever have before. Some think Logan is just trolling the internet for laughs and enjoying the chaos. Others are convinced there's a real, calculated money play happening quietly behind every viral tweet. Either way, the conversation isn't getting quieter. If anything, it gets louder every time he posts something new. And look, plenty of people collect manga. There are fans with shelves running from the floor to the ceiling, volumes stacked everywhere. Nobody has a problem with collecting itself. The actual issue, the thing that keeps coming up, is the feeling that these communities are getting treated like business opportunities instead of genuine passions built over years of caring about the stories. That's what makes this one hit different. It's not a Logan Paul scandal in the normal sense. He's not getting canceled, he's not losing brand deals, he probably isn't losing a single dollar, but something else is happening. A community is closing ranks. A genre is collectively saying, you can buy the rarest thing in our space, but you can't buy your way into it. And no amount of money or trolling tweets can force that door open. So the real question is yours now. Where do you actually land on this? Is the backlash justified, or is the internet digging way too deep into a guy who just bought some expensive manga? Drop it in the comments. Curious which way the split goes here, because both sides have strong arguments and I keep flipping back and forth myself. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with somebody who has an opinion on this. I'll catch you in the next one.